Hi class, this is Miss Leisure. We're talking about similar triangles today. We've been doing similar polygons, but I feel like this is a little bit easier. It's not quite as involved. You don't have to show quite as much. So, here we go. Our notes are going on page 67 in our notebooks, so make sure you can get all this on. But if it doesn't fit, add a little bit of paper and make it extend. Alrighty, remember you can pause and do whatever you need to get these notes. Pause, rewind, fast forward, whatever it is. Here we go. Alright, so here's our objectives. Determining triangles that are similar. We will do the life situational problems, which is what I call word problems. We'll be doing that in the next couple of days. Okay, you don't need to put this in your notes, just a reminder. Similar triangles exactly like similar polygons. Two triangles are similar, just like two polygons are similar, if and only if their corresponding angles are congruent and the measures of their corresponding sides are proportional. So if you can remember back to the last 2 days, the first couple problems we were working with, you had to list one, the corresponding angles that were congruent, and two, the corresponding sides that were proportional. And so your answer looked like this, right here, where you listed the angles and you listed the sides. And these are very, well, the order is very important so that you can get the congruent angles and you can get the corresponding proportional sides. So the order is very, very important. Okay, if you're unsure about this, please see me as quickly as possible. Also remember, this right here is called the similarity statement. So if you're ever asked for a similarity statement or a congruent statement, you're going to write two triangles, similar, okay? And you've got to make sure you have them named correctly. Okay, so these are examples from yesterday's notes. Once again, you don't need to put these in your notes as well. Example 1, because this was on page 65. Example 1. The angles are different. Remember, the first thing you do is check your angles. If the angles are different, the triangles are not similar. This was also in the notes from yesterday. And here, the angles are congruent, so you still check to see if your angles are congruent first. Then you move on to checking the ratios. And here, when you check the ratios right here, when you plug in, and then you plug them in that handy-dandy calculator, the ratios come out to be the same. So we know that this is just a shrunk version of the bigger one. All right, and so here we have our similarity statement. Okay? Alright, so this is where you need to start putting things in your notes. However, I don't think this definition you need to put in your notes. I believe it's just these triangles and the title of this similarity. Okay, we're going to have 3 different similarity shortcuts. The first one is angle-angle similarity. And this one, oh yes, the MCAS. I want you to be careful when it comes to multiple choice questions. The MCAS, the SAT and that type of stuff, they will often ask you for the similarity theorem or the similarity postulate. It's really a postulate. Or you may have a few that say the similarity shortcut, because that is what the older term for this is, and that's what I prefer to call it, because it keeps us from having to list all the angles and all the sides like we have in the past. Okay, so here we go. Let's try to talk about triangle boy and triangle man. Alright, if 2 angles of one triangle are congruent to 2 angles of another triangle, then the triangles are similar. And as you can see right here, we have angle B is equal to angle M, whoa, right there, and angle O is congruent to angle A. Yes. So, we have that therefore triangle boy is similar to triangle man by angle-angle similarity. If you've got any questions, write them down now so you won't forget to ask me tomorrow. Alrighty. Side, side, side similarity. And again, I don't think you need to put this little writing up of this in your notes, but you do need the title, and you do need Triangle War, W-A-R, and Triangle KED put in there. So pause it, get that written down. All right, now this one, you got to think. Hey, you got a hint right there. Side, side, side. So we got to do side proportionality. If the measures of the corresponding sides of two triangles are proportional, then the triangles are similar. So we're going to set up proportions for all of these, all right, and see if they are similar. So I've written out the proportions, as you can see here, for all the sides. 12 is to 4, 15.6 is to 5.2, and 18 is to 6. So we want to know, are those congruent? And yes, they are. They all come out to be 3. Now sometimes it's not quite as obvious as to which sides match which, so you might have to work and try a few, guess and check, and then eventually you might come up with them being similar. You might not, so sometimes this takes a little bit more time. Alright, so this one is Triangle War is similar to Triangle KED by side, side, side similarity. Kids in a war. Okay. Don't know where I came up with those names, but whew. So make sure you've got this in your notes. Alright, last shortcut here. Side, angle, side, similarity. Notice where the angle is. It's between the side and the side. So it's the concluded angle or the between angle. If the measures of two sides of a triangle are proportional to the measures of the two corresponding sides of another triangle, and the included angles are congruent, then the triangles are, you guessed it, similar. Alright, so first we check the angles. Angle P is congruent to angle D. Second thing we do is check to see if the sides are proportional. Is side PE proportional to side DO? That's what I'm doing down here. And then we're going to do side PT to side DG. Alright, so I plug in, and looky looky, hey, 2 equals 2. So our proportions, or our ratios, are congruent through the proportions, and so are, well, the angles are congruent, there we go. So therefore, triangle, oh, this one's triangle pet, is congruent, or similar, sorry, similar to triangle dog by side, angle, side similarity. Alright, make sure you pause and get this into your notes. Again, you don't need to copy the words, the triangles and the title, and all my work, of course. Mine's the more important stuff. Oh, yeah. Alright, so also don't forget, note the location of the angle. The angle is between the two sides. So right here, we can follow it. Side, angle, side. The two sides surround the angle. And I also over here, the two sides that we are using and referring to as being proportional surround the angle. Okay, we're going to do some examples. There's actually 4 parts to this example, so let me put this up here. Alright, state whether each pair of triangles is similar. There, oh, didn't want you to see the answers. Well, there we go. Okay. State whether each pair of triangles is similar by angle, angle similarity, side, side, side similarity, or side, angle, side similarity. If not similar, write not and the similar sign. Okay. So I've got 4 here. I want you to copy them down. I want you to work them. See if you can come up with the answers first. Make sure you show me the proportionality. Make sure you either circle or mark, with hooks or something, where the angles are that are congruent so that we know exactly what we are talking about. Not only you know what you're talking about, but I know what you're talking about also. All right, pause it, do your work. All right, and you are back. Let's get to the answers here. Oh, let's skip that part. There we go. We'll make it just really fast. Throw it out there. Okay, so now A is side, side, side similarity. And you see how I've shown my work by the 4 to 1, 4 to 1, 4 to 1. All these sides. In B, oh, look at there. Found the missing angle. And I've marked them. 15 to 15, or 115 to 115, and the 28 to the 28. So this one is angle, angle. C. C, I have a reflexive angle to our side, reflexive side to another reflexive side. The 15 is to the 15. And here's our angles. I've kind of marked them or highlighted them so I could see where the betweenness was. And this one is side, angle, side. And D, I don't like it when triangles are on top of each other, so I separated them. And now it's easier for me to see the lengths of these sides. So 10 is to 15, 10 is to 15, 8 is to 12, 2/3, 2/3, 2/3, or 0.6, repeating if you changed them to a decimal, which is side, side, side similarity. Okay, any questions? Make sure you make some notes. All right, moving on. And I believe this is the last page. We're going to skip this example as well as example 4. We're going to talk about those tomorrow. And this is the end. Notice my pretty little flower there with all the triangles. Have a great day. I will see you in class tomorrow. Thank you for visiting the Leisure Math channel.